Hi everyone, welcome to Draw What I Want, a channel where I learn how to draw and I share my experience with you all. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey. In today's video, I'm going to be learning how to draw contour tubes. So this is lesson 15 from the book that I've been using to guide my learning sessions by Mark Kistler. So if you have been following my channel and my videos, you would have seen that I've already learned how to draw a rose, for example, a house, and just other shapes really. So as I say, I am learning to draw from scratch. So yeah, thank you so much for being a part of my journey. So as always, I'm going to be using my sketchbook, the pencil, the sharpener and the eraser as well. And I do apologize if the camera will be shaky a little bit. I have actually just moved to a new property and this table is a little bit shaky compared to the previous one. I'll try my best to kind of keep it still. Okay, so let's begin. The sketchbook is filling up nicely already. I think I'm halfway through. Okay, and so this is the previous drawing that I've done. The single petal lily. So this was my challenge. If you haven't seen it, please go ahead and visit my channel. It's literally the last video. So it's one of the challenge videos. Okay, so if you are learning to draw as well, then please feel free to follow along. And yeah, share your experience in the comments section. Let's learn together. Let's share tips, advice, and just our experiences of what it's like learning to draw from scratch at any age, really, at any age. Okay, so yeah, and just a little note. I haven't drawn this before at all, so this is literally the first time I'm opening this page in a book. So we will be learning to draw together as we are going along. Okay, so let's begin. So to effectively draw curving tubular objects, I hope you can see it all, such as trains, planes, automobiles, trees, people, or even clouds, you need to master contour lines. So it's interesting that the artist is actually explaining the reason why it's important to learn how to draw contour tubes, because when I looked at it, I was kind of like, well, what am I going to use it for really in real life, you know? Okay, so contour lines are especially important when you are drawing the human figure. Okay, so again, so that's interesting because I wouldn't have imagined that, I wouldn't have thought that. Arms, legs, fingers, toes, and well, just about every part of the human figure involves the use of contour lines. Contour lines wrap around a curved object. They give an object volume and depth and define an object's position. Is the object moving away from or toward your eye? Is the object bending up or twisting down? Does the object have wrinkles, cracks, or a specific texture? Contour lines will answer these questions and many more by giving your eye visual clues regarding how to perceive the object as a three-dimensional shape on your paper. In this lesson, we will practice controlling the direction of a tube with contour lines. Okay, so that's a nice little introduction there from the artist. Okay, so number one, draw a drawing direction reference cube. Okay, so we know how to draw a reference cube from our previous lessons. So I'm just gonna start it from this side here. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover my drawing with a plain paper so that I don't smudge it. And I'm gonna draw it from here. So we're draw a drawing direction reference cube. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? I don't know why he's just not saying draw, what are they? You know, the foreshortened squares. Because I guess it's not that, it's more like a cube. Anyway, so we'll do that. Bit of a shaky there. Okay. So we'll do that. Okay, and then, yes, it's directions. Then, using the drawing compass direction northeast, so that would be that, as a reference, draw a light guide line in direction northeast. And you draw a light guide. So so basically what he's saying is this, and that just looks like something separate thing. Okay, so so he's okay. So using the drawing compass direction as a reference, draw a light guideline in a direction. So we'll do that. And then draw a guide dot to position the foreshortened circle end of the tube. It's there. Draw the vertical foreshortened circle end of the tube. Draw the vertical foreshortened circle end of the tube. See, he's doing that. Yeah, so it's just these. It's like an egg. Okay, using the line, let me just bring you the book so that you can see it as well. So this is what we've done. This and this, see, like the egg looking thing. Using the line you have already drawn in direction and E as reference, draw the thickness of the tube. Draw this line from the very top edge of the vertical foreshortened circle. Notice in my illustration how this line is slanted just a tad bit more than the bottom line, making the tube taper as it recedes away from your eye. Taper. These lines will eventually merge together, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to lie, because English isn't my first language, and because I'm learning to draw from scratch, there are a lot of words that I'm reading that I'm not familiar with. I don't actually know what the translation is, like for example, taper. You know, like even though I can speak fluently in English, I'm only familiar with the words that I use on a daily basis. So it's like, for example, if you were to take on a subject at school, like science, for example, but you've never learned it before, you're doing it right from the beginning, you will come across a vocabulary that you've never heard before. So it's the same as with art. Because I've never come across this vocabulary before, I don't actually know what it means, which is why I'm reading a lot of these words. And just looking at if I didn't have a drawing here as a reference, I wouldn't be able to understand what the artist means. So yes, I'm reading it, but I'm constantly having to look at the picture. And actually when I'm trying to learn it, to draw it, that's the only reason I'm managing to do it, is because I'm kind of just copying what the artist has drawn rather than learning by the words, if that makes sense. But it's interesting to notice that I'm sure the more I'm going to be learning, the more I'm going to be progressing in my drawing journey, this type of words, I'm going to be seeing them over and over again, and I will just have to have a look what it means as a translation and then kind of know it. So it's just an interesting point that I've noticed, and I wanted to share it with you. So to any of you out there who might be learning to draw as well, and English isn't your first language, do let me know in the comment section if this is something that you can relate to. That would be really interesting and helpful. Thank you. Okay, so how this line is slanted just a bit. Okay, this is an application of the drawing law of size to the tube. These lines will eventually merge together at a distant vanishing point, which we will get to later in the book. Okay, so let's do this one then. So we've got this line here, and then what we're doing is we're creating a tube. So we'll do it like this. Okay. I guess that's as best as I can do that. So it's like having a point there. Yeah, I'm not gonna overdo it because I'm gonna make it worse. So we'll just leave it as that for now. The idea is basically that this top line, it's not completely parallel, but it's going in so that at the end they join together. Right, and then curve, and then number 6, curve the far end of the tube a bit more than the near edge. The law of size not only shrinks things as they move away from your eye, it also distorts images, thus the far edge is more curved than the near edge. Right, what's it saying? Curve the far end of the tube a bit more than the near edge. The law of size not only shrinks things as they move away from your eye, it also distorts images. Thus, the far edge is more curved than the near edge. So it basically goes in like that. Right. That's as much as I can do it right now. It's not easy, I'll be honest with you, it's not easy. It's not as easy as it looks anyway, for me personally. But if you are following along as well, please do let me know in the comments section, how are you finding it? Do you find it easy or challenging? So, begin drawing the near contour lines on the surface. Just looks like a little snake. Begin drawing the near contour lines on the surface of the tube. Notice how these contour lines curve a bit more as they move away from your eye. Don't know. I'm not sure. And then complete the contour lines. Continue to curve them more as they move away from your eye. So we've done that. To create the illusion of a hollow tube, draw the inside contour lines, following the outside far edge of the initial foreshortened circle. Yes, even these internal contour lines need to curve more as they move away from your eye. See, that kind of messes with my brain a little bit. Let's just read this again, 1 second. To create the illusion of a hollow tube, draw the inside contour lines following the outside far edge of the initial foreshortened circle. Yes, even these internal contour lines need to curve more as they move away from the eye. So does he start it from the outer shell or from the inside? I think I probably better do it like this. That's what I'm being drawn to, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the idea is that, yeah, it does look like one of those, I don't know, it just reminds me of a sweet. You can buy a pack of sweets that look like little snakes with those little lines across. That's what it makes me think of. Maybe I'm hungry, I don't know. So, okay. Determine, let me just put this here. Determine the position of your light source using the curve of your interior contour lines. Determine the position of your light source using the curve of your interior contour lines. Using the curve of your interior contour lines. Add shade into the inside of the tube. So if we have light source there, see that feels quite natural to me. Yeah, nice. Okay. So that's that done. So is that the main? Okay. So we've got draw the cast shadow with a guideline in direction S. Nice, nice, all these little details. So why did we draw the cube here? Was it just because we needed some reference lines? I don't know. Just to practice? Maybe. So that's that. And then, so we'll do the bit of shadowing now. Sorry, I don't want to shake the table. So that's that. And then wait, I just want to make sure it doesn't. Just keep shaking. Oh, excuse me. I wonder. Guys, if you have any tips about what to do so that my desk doesn't shake like that when I'm drawing, I would really welcome it. Do let me know in the comment section, because I'm sure it's not very it's a little bit distracting for you, no? Okay, so that's that. A bit of shadowings there. Shade the tube with curving contour lines. This technique of shading with contour lines is an excellent way to create texture and three-dimensional shape. So yeah, see, I mean, the tube isn't that difficult to draw, and then it's just remembering to add the detail. So we've got a bit of shading on the top, shadows at the bottom, and then also on this side as well. Draw the second tube for this lesson with a guideline in direction NW. Draw a guide dot for the vertical foreshortened circle. Draw the vertical foreshortened circle. Draw the thickness of the tube receding away in direction NE. Draw the contour lines on the outside of the tube. Voila! You just define tube number 2 as facing in the opposite direction. Direction of tube number 1. Contour lines are very powerful in defining an object's direction and position on the paper. To shade this second tube, draw your lightest top right and shade opposite. Okay, so that's going to be quite a bit of a challenge. Let's see how we get on. So we wanna draw it on the other side. So listen, I think I've already forgotten how we started it. So, okay, so we're drawing the line and we're doing it the other way. So let's do it. Bear with me. Just got some water. I'm keeping my water in the fridge all day at the moment. It's we're still experiencing heat wave. But yeah. So yeah, let's go. So we're drawing that line there, remember? Because that's how we started it. So for example, like that, yeah? Then we're doing the dot there, and we're drawing the oval thingy, so the foreshortened circle, right? I don't think I'm too bad at drawing foreshortened circles. It turns out, I think, like egg thingy. So we'll leave that there. And then look, this is the thingy. This is the important part where we're drawing that line, but it needs to go a little bit here. So what if yeah, right, and then so that needs to be like that. What do you think? Yeah. It's a little bit intense. Focusing, definitely focusing. But I think the heat doesn't help either. But it's interesting, I'm enjoying it. So that's that. And then so I think we were doing those things. I think it's like that. Wait. I think they need to be a little bit like more curved. So that's quite challenging. That's not easy. Yeah, it's learning to draw curves. It's good practice for the hand. Well, I'll leave it like that. That's that. And then the internal one. Good odd one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, for the first attempt anyway, I think. Yeah, I like that. It's interesting. Okay, so that's. So, you know, I don't know. I don't think I've done it what it was asking me to do, because what it was asking me to do or us to do is to do it the other way around, and I haven't done that. What I've done is I've done it the same, so it's still looking left, but it's up, right, rather than down. So, and it was asking us to do the other way around, so that was confusing. So let's just quickly do that. So the line, basically, we've done it that way, and then we need to do it. So let's just wait. So that's the main line, because before we're doing it that way, now we're doing it that way. So that's that. But look, it needs to be facing down. No, wait, I'm getting confused again. Yeah, that's right. So that's that. The thing, yeah. So for shortened circle, and then the line there. So that it's curved like that. Yeah, that's right. See, it is confusing. Definitely got to pay attention to detail here. So that's that, and then we're doing curves. Okay, that's that. Just looks like I'm warm. And then from this side, look. Okay. I'm just gonna move this up a little bit so you guys can see. Yeah, right? So this is what the book says, to do it on the other side. So it's facing right and still down. This one was facing left and down. This one is still facing left, but it's up. Okay, we've got the task correct now. So we'll just do a bit of shading quick. The first shading was, so the light source. Guys, if you are following along and if you are doing this as well, do let me know in the comment section if you've made the same mistake as I did, or did you make, or did you write, or did you draw it correctly straight away? That one there. Oops, excuse me. And then just want to make sure it's not shaking. That one's that. And then the bottom one. But I do like doing this curvy movements. I'm not sure why, but I do like it. And see, this is the interesting thing about learning to draw from scratch and experimenting and learning different things, because with time you will definitely start relating and identifying yourself to certain objects, I guess, as an artist. Okay, so that's that. And then if we'll just do this one. So if we, that one now, so it's from the top. It will be cool to be able to draw a person though using this excuse me, using this technique. Because at the moment I don't know how it's gonna work. But I guess, yeah, when you're drawing an arm, for example, or a leg. Right, that's that. Right. That's that, and then okay, that's that. So that's it then. That was pretty cool to draw, very enjoyable. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. So next it will be challenge. Well, after this video, the next one of my videos will be practicing to draw. So if you are already familiar with my channel, with my videos, you will notice that I've got kind of like a pattern going on. So I do a video, but I learned to draw something that new to me. The next video will be practicing what I've learned to kind of solidify the knowledge and just to see if I can improve in any way. And then the third one, when I will be challenging myself to draw something. So yeah, so the next one will be practicing. So that's it then, guys. What were they called? Contour tubes. Let me just write it here. Contour tubes. So if we'll just put this against here. Oh, lovely. So that's it. I'm done for today's video. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you did like this video, if you enjoyed it, or if you found it useful, beneficial in any way, please do consider liking it. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel just to follow my drawing journey and the progress. And yeah, because your support just means the world. And remember that wherever you are in your drawing journey is already perfect. So I'm sending blessings to you all. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.